hang on. Okay, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. You need to slow down. Jacob? Oh my god, Jacob, where have you been? It's been months. Yeah, I tried getting in contact with you, but your phone was shut off. Wait, you were in... Why were you in Salem? Why would you go there? Just... Okay, hang on. Don't you think this is something maybe we should be talking about in person? Yeah, are you nearby? Okay. Alright, Collins Park. Sounds good. I'll see you there. Yeah, I'll see you there in 10 minutes. You hung up on me.
First, how you been?
How have I been?
Yeah,
Over the last 7 months.
that's what I asked.
Not bad, I guess.
That's good. Figured that'd be the case, but we'll get to that because we got a lot to go over today.
Yeah, like what?
Well, I've been looking into the Thomas Brattle Institute, find out who they are, where they're from, what they do.
What have you found out about them?
Not a lot that we didn't learn from those files in that office, but I did get confirmation that that thing that's been haunting you for however long is actually researching it is the reason that an institute was founded.
Really? Like, you mean people researching it back in the day started the institute?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, what else did you find out about them? Like,
Mostly information about their founder, Thomas Brattle.
huh.
So, you know, it's funny. It all seems to come back to Thomas Brattle again and again. You know, even Thomas Putnam, the guy whose journal you gave me that, well, I gave you, he wrote on him extensively, including stuff about him visiting their home.
It actually makes sense that Thomas Brattle would interview those 3 girls who kicked off the trials as part of his investigation preceding those events.
Yeah, and his daughter, Putnam's daughter, rather, was one of those 3 girls. You know, when you mentioned some of what you wanted to talk about over the phone, I grabbed my journal because I wrote down some bits from Putnam's journal. Yeah, the good Thomas Brattle did visit our home today in part of his investigation of the true nature of the tortures my daughter has faced. He did speak at length with Anne, and though her mother did fret that she may be fevered after such trials, Anne spoke with clarity and strength and did describe the horrors which visited her. Then Thomas Brattle asked to see my daughter's reaction to the accused, as she had shown during the judgment of the wicked men and women. So at the courthouse, we brought that man, Giles Corey, before her, and she began to shake and become as fitful as before, and acted as though an invisible hand had been placed upon her back, at which she clawed but could not escape. Thomas Brattle seemed perplexed at her reaction, and asked of those present if a specter or creature could be perceived behind the girl, and we were compelled to confess we could see no such thing. The man seemed at odds with this, but did not take the matter further. So, I'm not sure what that means exactly, but why?
Yeah, actually, Thomas Brattle did say that he saw a shadow hovering over the girls. Yeah, like, a lot of his research has been lost over the centuries, but with what I was able to find, it's clear that he was visited by the same horror that haunted those 3 girls who started the trials, and is basically haunting you now.
Wow.
Yeah. It's nuts.
That's 300 years.
And is there anything else important?
Yeah, you know, he actually, it looks like Brattle did talk to Anne about, well, I'll just read it to you. He then asked of my daughter what the black man, as she called him, appears as, whether as a natural man, a creature half beast, or as a shadow without form. Anne gave Thomas Brattle instead the same description as she gave when first she was plagued with nightmares, an impossibly tall man in the garb of a judge, with no ornament or decoration, no hair nor wig upon his head, and no distinct character of his face. Eyes missing or closed, nose flat, and mouth sealed as well. Thomas Brattle showed the same confusion at this description as myself and the Reverend Paris, as this image is not how we have known the devil to show himself before. As I've written prior in this diary, it can only be assumed that he has took this image to encourage the trust of the children he has chosen.
Exactly. All this time, all these centuries, and it's still the same thing, trying to blend in, but failing.
What if it didn't want to blend in?
Right?
What if it just wants to look wrong? So, I mean, what are we dealing with then? Is this a ghost, or a demon, or even the devil, like they thought back in the 1600s? What is it?
I don't think it's a ghost, because that would probably just stick to a specific area, and demons seem really specific to actual religions. But this thing, it's been around for hundreds or maybe even thousands of years, possibly longer, across multiple cultures and areas. It's seen all over the world, but it always seems to follow a general pattern. It causes chaos and fear among people. It kidnaps kids for its own kinds of reasons. And the Institute ended up being founded first to study that thing, and it expanded later. Yeah.
So, I mean, has the Institute even found out anything about how to stop it, how to prevent it, how to make it go away? Is there anything that they know?
Not really. It's been almost 300 years or so, and they're still scratching their heads. Most they figured out about how to stop it is by not knowing about it to begin with. The most they can really do for anyone affected is to selectively wipe the memories about it.
Nice. Why memories, though? What does that have to do with anything? Why does remembering it cause problems?
I don't really know myself. They've found out that it's attracted to those who already know about it. And so that's why it tends to affect people along family lines,
Because they would tell the story.
someone in the family sees it, tells their relatives about it, they tell their relatives, and it gets passed down from generation to generation of the family tree.
Makes sense, yeah. What better way to keep your kids in line than tell them, if you don't go to bed on time, the tall man from the forest is going to come and get you. But if that's true, then why is my case different? Like, you told me that your brother was walking with you and your parents in the woods, just a few feet behind you. One minute he was there, the next he was gone. You know, in the video with my father, I guess, he was telling me that when I was 4, one minute I was there playing in the backyard with them, the next minute I was gone. Did anyone tell us these stories as children? Obviously, I can't remember. Did your parents ever tell you these stories?
I never heard anything about it. And
So, why in our case, why in the North Shore area of Massachusetts is the pattern so much different? They even called it something different in the papers. They called it the Mimnaugh pattern because it was discovered by Vanessa Mimnaugh.
what I seem to have found out about the pattern is that there's usually 3 people who get abducted, typically little girls, who end up returning to their families sometime later. And then they get older, and as they get older, eventually this thing finds them again, and it starts, trying to pick them off.
So, this time around it was me and Clara and Alice.
Yeah.
Why 3? And why were we allowed to escape? Were we allowed? Did that just happen? Or did it actually release us so we could continue spreading stories about it? Oh my god.
I don't know, but Hey! Hey!
What? You okay?
Yeah, it's just, I swear I saw a woman and a child staring right at us. Kid couldn't have been more than 9 or 10. Woman had a hood up, so I couldn't figure out anything about her. You really didn't see that?
No, I didn't see anything. Hey, Jacob! Jacob, come back! Jacob, slow down! I don't see anybody there! Why are you... Jacob, get back here!
I told you.
Hey! Hey, stop! Look, Jacob, there's no one here, okay? Whoever that was, they're gone now.
I know, it's just, No, I don't know.
You okay?
No, not really. 'Cause whatever person that was with her, they looked like they were corrupted.
What's corrupted?
It's what I wrote about on my blog a lot. Look, it's what happens when the kids are taken by that thing. They lose their humanity over time and they become these feral human things. You've met a couple of them before. One of them is that thing that took you from your apartment in Chicago. The other one is the thing you ran into when you went to that abandoned shack with Dave and Giles.
You're talking about those people from my old videos, aren't you? The ones with no eyes and...
Yes, Clover, that's what I'm telling you. That's what they become.
How could you possibly know that, though?
I know. Look, I just know. Because it's what happened to my little brother.